ladies and gentlemen, welcome over here to the Dascar Christmas Royals 2015 part number 3. We have 2 new cars on track because the previous cars all crashed. Remember, the 18 car and the 98 car of Philip Goldberg and Henry Williams crashed in the last segment of part number 2. And that's why we have 2 new drivers over here. And those 2 drivers are the number 26 of Amy Shelley and the number 1 car of Anthony Lopez. So they are together on track with the 2 of them. And we'll see how they can do. Are they going to take each other out, or are they going to calm it down a little bit? Say, well, of the first 2 parts, nobody has made it to part number 3. Not a single driver. So, well, let's take it a little bit easier. And I think that they might do that. So, part number 3, entries number 21 and 22 means we're halfway home through these knockout kind of eliminator rounds. I'm not sure how I should call these rounds. Maybe eliminator rounds is a good one over here. So, 20 cars still to go. Oh no, there they go! Oh, and there they go! Oh, and this might be a perfect elimination! And we already start in the brutal way. Wow. We already start the brutal way. And the time has stopped. And I think this might be perfect elimination. Oh boy. How incredible. Oh, and this is gonna be a big one, I think, over for 26 car. We're gonna follow her for a moment. Amy Shelley. Already out. Whoa, and flying and flipping, there she goes. Oh my goodness, look at that car. This is just a moment of, well, enjoying cars flipping, but I'm pretty sure that Amy Shelley's not gonna be happy with it. The only driver over here, James Shelley, of course, remember, was your winner last year of these Royals, 2014 Christmas Royals, and teammate Amy Shelley did not survive for 1 lap. With only 2 cars on track, but this driver over here, Anthony Lopez, has a perfect elimination, I think. Let's take a look at the replays, ladies and gentlemen. Another perfect elimination, another car out already very early, with 2 cars on track. Wow, incredible. Another perfect elimination over here. And, of course, the only perfect elimination was from Keith Black. He had 1 perfect elimination against Ray Takeda. By the way, Zachary Fitzwater is the person who has survived most segments, 6 segments, so... Well, we know one thing for sure, 26 of Amy Shelley is not gonna reach that. Look at Anthony Lopez over here. It's gonna be exactly the same thing as what the 70 car did, and also actually the 98 of Henry Williams, except for that he also crashed. Look at this. There goes Altrek, then the 26 car goes on her side, and that's, well, no way saving. And the 1 car stays on track. Anthony Lopez with a perfect elimination. And that's quite incredible. Now the number 26 car, we're gonna go on board with her. I think she did not even flip over. It was just a huge, big ass jump over here. Look at this. Big jump. Woo. And saves it and goes on. It's just a shame that Amy Shelley was already outside of the racetrack. It was just surviving and continuing the way, then she would have been fine at least until now. There she tries to get on track again, but not quick enough, and there she's on the banking again, and then she crashes once again. But the biggest crash for her is gonna come in a couple of moments. Look at this. And this is something which I want to slow down. And then we go to the chase. Look at that car flying through the air, into the wall, invisible wall of course there, on her roof and flipping over or whatever. With our drone camera, of course, the drone almost got destroyed another time. Look at that car just tumbling over. Well, that's not a cruise camera. Look at this car. This is literally end over end. And then side over side as well, pirouetting through the air, through the grandstands. Wow, that's quite incredible over here. And we want to take one more look at this, because, well, of course she was not done yet. We want to take one more look at this with the helmet cam over here. So there we go, cockpit camera. Look at this jump. Look at this flipping. Wow. This is how it feels from the inside of the car. Just pirouetting through the air. And that was it for Amy Shelley, her Christmas Royals is already over. Now I want to take one more look at it, of course, with the number 1 car of Anthony Lopez, the person who has a perfect elimination right behind his name now, and together with Keith Black, that is. So let's see if he can get another one and then pass Keith Black. But oh, let's go on with him over here. Anthony Lopez, it's a little bit slower. There you can see contact, meet, and he stays on track. He was not that much, but he stays on track. And that's Anthony Lopez who continues his way, and Amy Shelley out. So ladies and gentlemen, that means we are going to get to the next entry on track, which is entry number 23. Let's go to the next car. And we are back again with our next entry. That's the 06 car of Dylan Young. And Dylan Young is gonna battle the number 1 of Anthony Lopez, who has a perfect elimination behind his name. So not really sure about driving right in front of him, but oh well. So Dylan Young, 06 car in the Red Bull Jaguar. Still like this car, it really looks amazing. So this is now the second time that we've seen an accident with 2 cars on track. So normally I said, well, if you have 2 cars on track, the wreck is very unlikely, but we don't know. I think we have seen more crashes with 2 cars on track than we have with 4 cars on track or 3 cars on track. So yeah, these guys are really aggressive this Christmas special. I mean, like, only the fact that we have nobody from part number 2 survive for part number 3. That is the first time ever that has happened. That we have need to have 2 new cars on track because nobody was left. That has also never happened before. We had it 2 times already this year, so well, that has something. Now this question, of course, the biggest question is not only gonna be, well, normally it's like, well, this time the question is gonna be, are we gonna see 3 cars on track next time? Are these 2 gonna let each other live, let themselves live as well, and move on to the next part without crashing, to the next segment? Well, I don't know. The first 22 and 21 entries are out. Once again, the longest survivor is Zachary Fitzwater for 6 segments, and we've seen people survive for 8-9 segments or something. So, well, I'm not sure if that's gonna happen with all these cars crashing only in their first or second or third segments. So, I mean, like, look at this. They're already so close to each other. Wreck is pretty likely still with 2 cars on track. So, Anthony Lopez, Keith Black with both won a perfect elimination. Top 2000 is on. We're, by the way, at number 1000 something. So we're not halfway yet. That will come today. So Dylan Young versus Anthony Lopez. I'm not sure if they have been on track before, at least not in my series. Anthony Lopez is not in the Phillips Cup series. Dylan Young is. And Anthony Lopez was in the Martini Endurance Series Season 1. And I don't think Dylan Young. Oh, actually, I think Dylan Young was together with Sam Young. But I don't know. I don't know for sure. So, well, 20 seconds to go. And I'm not going to say anything because then they are going to crash anyway. So, the 2 cars will storm into turn number 1. And I think they are pretty satisfied to have a 3rd car on track. So, ladies and gentlemen, with 5 seconds to go. Whoa, that was close. Now we are going to welcome the next car on track, entry in number 24. And we are back again with the next entry on track, and that's the 07 car of Sam Young indeed. So Dylan Young and Sam Young both on track, and well, this is kind of like a deja vu over here. We had, in part number 2, we had a 70 car with a perfect elimination, being on track. Then the 2nd car came on track, which is the 17 car of Nicole Trenowich. 1 round later comes her teammate, number 5, Anna Gregg. Now we have on track the number 1 car of Anthony Lopez with a perfect elimination. Next car on track is Dylan Young in the 06 car. And after that comes, indeed, the 07 car of Sam Young, Dylan Young's teammate. So, if everything is gonna be like the deja vu, then probably they're gonna survive this segment and they are going to crash the next one. All 3 of these guys are going to crash then. And the only survivor will be the new driver, will be entry number 25 then. So, but I don't know. Speech disorder. But we have seen a lot of crazy things happen already, so, and a lot of unpredictable things. And Dylan Young quite aggressive on the rear bumper of Anthony Lopez over there. Well, underneath the rear wing, as I should say. So, well, we don't know what's gonna happen, we'll just have to wait. Toyota on track, a Jaguar on track, and a Mercedes on track. So we ain't got any Mazdas over here. That's the fourth manufacturer, so... Well, pretty crazy things we've already seen this year. This edition of the Christmas Royals. Dylan Young on track together with his teammate Sam Young, the 06 and the 07 car. Yeah, we haven't seen teammates crash or take each other out, but that might happen as well. So hope for these guys that won't happen. And Anthony Lopez is the odd man out. It's the third man, the third leg of the group. The black sheep of the group, that's always what we say, the black sheep. Like normally you have a field of white sheep and then one black sheep. And that's no racism, of course, intended. So Anthony Lopez, your, well, leader I should say, but once again, doesn't matter who is in the lead. And that's, well, normally it's the person who is in the lead either survives or gets taken out. And the person who is last is the same story. So if you don't want to be in the middle, but, well, you don't want to be up front or in the back either. So pretty much you don't want to be anywhere, unless you're really, really far behind. Anthony Lopez crosses the line in first, and Dylan Young is looking to make a move on him with Sam Young. And with 10 seconds to go, I think we're not gonna say anything. We're not gonna say anything. Ooh, that was really close. But the time is up. The time is up. All three have survived. Good thing. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna welcome the next car onto the Ace track. Entry number 25. And we are back with entry number 25 on track. That's the number 13 car of Emmanuel Hardnett. The first time he is on track. So, 4 cars on track. We all know what that means. There is, well, little chance of a crash compared to if you have 2 cars on track. Now, of course, there's always a chance of a crash if there are 4 cars on track, and these guys are still pretty aggressive. Especially Anthony Lopez, of course, one perfect elimination behind his name. Emmanuel Hardnett, I think he's all about, for him it's all about survive for as long as he can. So, well, we'll see what he can do in the first time. To be on track in the Dascar Christmas Royals. I don't think he had a very good race. No, he didn't have a very good race at Le Mans. He got taken out, crashed 3 times with the 43 of Rocco Twyman. So, well, don't think it was, those two are very good friends now. So, of course, he got taken out early by John Cittadino, but after that he crashed a couple of times. And, well, this is starting to get a little bit closer now between the 2 Youngs. Dylan, oh, that's a close one. But he stays on track, so we still have 4 cars on track. Can we get 5 cars on track? We have had 5 cars on track a couple of times, but that only lasted for 1 lap. We haven't had 6 cars on track. Last year we even had 7 cars on track at one point, but we haven't seen that this year. And I'm actually, to be honest, I hardly doubt if we're gonna see that. I even doubt if we're gonna see 6 cars on track. These cars are so aggressive. I have never seen them being as aggressive as this. So, well, maybe one thing is that these cars are quite a handful to drive, and we've seen it already a couple of times. Those guys are really swerving quite some over the track, over the place, going sideways through a corner, then losing it, and then that's usually when they take one other driver out. So Dylan Young goes down low on Anthony Lopez again, and Emmanuel Hardnett has just shown quite some speed, and blocking maybe a little bit, but well, at least he's now still up front. Not anymore. They're going 3 wide for lead. But normally 3 wide is not even there's not even 3 wide, but now it's 3 wide. 3 wide is not that big of a problem. It's not even that dangerous. I mean, like, I think these guys would be safer running 4 wide around this racetrack all the time than running in a train all the time, because then one driver moves up a little bit, and that is when you see problems, because then the person behind runs him over, and then you have a crash of 4 cars or something. So, well, can we say it? I don't know. 10 seconds to go. And these guys, I gotta say, they've calmed down quite a lot. And that is why we're gonna see a 5th car on racetrack. Ladies and gentlemen, the time is up. That means we're gonna see entry number 26 already halfway home through this part. So, entry number 26 gonna be on track in just a couple of moments. And we are back with the 5th car on track. That's the 43 car of Rocco Twyman, entry number 26. 5 cars on track. I'm very curious for how long this will last. Rocco Twyman, the 43 car. Remember, just a couple of moments I said that he already had some issues with the 13 car at Le Mans. 13 of Emmanuel Hartnett. And guess what? They are entry number 25 and 26 together on track again. So let's see how that rivalry will continue. Crashing 3 times at Le Mans in 1 lap, and then eventually both, I think, retired from that. So Rocco Twyman being in a Mazda, that means we have all 4 different manufacturers on track. So we got Mercedes, we got Mazda, we got Toyota, and we got Jaguar. So that's a whole lot of fun. But 5 cars on track. Well, at least they have survived it already longer than they normally do. So that's a good thing for these guys. Are we then gonna have... No, I don't think... I don't know. I'm not gonna say anything about this. So the Monster Energy number 43 Ken Block number, of course. Monster Energy was a Toyota, but I changed it to a Mazda because we had too many Toyotas. This is gonna be dangerous. This is gonna be dangerous for the 07 car and the 06 car. And they are still going fine. Almost halfway through this segment, and all 5 cars, well, you can see them switch a whole couple of, or quite often, lanes. Switching lead. I mean, the 07 car was in the lead, then he fell back again. Now he's starting to come to the front again. The 06 car is in the lead, but that is all fine as long as these guys don't take each other out. And normally we have seen most crashes in turns number 3 and 4, and that's right here. So I hope for these guys that they're gonna take it, well, let each other live. Of course, live and let die. And normally it is let die and not the living part. And especially for Anthony Lopez, who has a perfect elimination, but then it's live for himself and let die for the other one. Amy Shelley, the only retirement from part number 3 so far, halfway through this thing. And that's quite uncommon. It's quite funny, and it's quite interesting, and it's quite good. But of course, not for Amy Shelley. So Rocco Twyman, entry number 26 already. So halfway through this part. Of course, the first 2 entries came on track together, so it's not really halfway. But with 30 seconds to go, 28 now. These guys, I'm still waiting for somebody to cross that white dotted line, because that has not happened yet this year. And we've seen it the last year 3 or 4 times or something. But that has not happened yet. And that's a good thing, because that's always a stupid thing why people go out just because they went a little bit too low. And well, crashing, it's quite obvious if you are eliminated due to a crash. Oh, the time is up! Wait, the time is up! We're gonna have 6 cars on track! Ladies and gentlemen, the next car on track is gonna be entry number 27. I'm not gonna spoil it this time, even though I scared the heck out of me. Entry number 27 is right up. And we have 6 cars on track as Chris Washer is your next entry. And there they already almost went, and I'm waiting. Oh, there they go. Okay, there they go. And that is what I was waiting for. And Anthony Lopez with a hard hit into the wall. I was about to say I never thought that this was gonna be this was gonna happen, but now I can already say. Well, I was about to say I'm wondering how long they can survive. But of course, obviously they could not for very long. 2 cars have survived for sure. The other one I don't know, and the time is up, by the way. And 3 cars are out, at least that's what I think. We're gonna take a look at the replays, ladies and gentlemen. Anthony Lopez, Emmanuel Hartnett, and Chris Washer. Chris Washer, I think, survived. Yes, Chris Washer survived. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna take a look at the replays over here. Another crash which took out at least 3 cars. Well, this is what went wrong, and this was a little bit of a deja vu. We have seen something like this before with Nicole Trinham, which is getting turned by the 70 of Keith Black. Now, Emmanuel Harden is gonna get turned around by the 07 car, the 06 car, I mean, of Dylan Young, teammate. Now, the question is, who is all gonna be out? That's the question. I think the helicopter view will explain a little bit better. There's at least the 13 car at least is out. The 1 car is also out. And Rocco Twyman was lucky in this one. Dylan Young, oh no, there he went. Oh, that's a shame. He almost had survived it. But he just spun off track. So that's 3 cars out. The 1 car of Anthony Lopez, the 13 car of Emmanuel Harden, and the 06 car of Dylan Young. And I think even Rocco Twyman got lucky in this thing. Rocco Twyman. There we go. Let's take a look at this just a little bit closer. There are 2 cars, 2 wheels still on track, and then he continues. So, Rocco Twyman indeed a survivor in this thing. Lucky, very, very lucky he was. So Anthony Lopez, the longest survivor. I wanted to say, if he would have survived this thing, then he would have been tied with Zachary Fitzwater. He has now survived 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 segments, but the 6th one is gonna be fatal for him. Now let's take a look at the wreck itself, because that was quite a hard one, and especially for Anthony Lopez. Look at that. Emmanuel Harden goes into the wall, and Emmanuel Harden as well, but then he goes flying, bang. Woo! That's some big off-road stuff over there. No Limit. This song should, well, a little bit weird song to be in top 2000, but of course it's a classical song. Everybody knows it. So let's go on board over here with the number 1 car, Anthony Lopez. He was pretty close for him as well, a little bit. Unfortunately, not enough. Yeah. Wow, that's pretty big hit over there. Now let's go on board with the 06 car. No, let's go on board with the 43 of Rocco Twyman over here. Rocco Twyman was behind everything. And that was close. Very great save. That was really a great save by Rocco Twyman. Fortunately for him, he did survive it. And the person who was right in front of him did not. Dylan Young, and we're going to slow-mo it a little bit. He was the one who made contact. And at this point he is still in. Even at this point, oh, he's still in. But unfortunately he's just gonna spin off track. There, I think it was the 13 car. There he leaves the track, and that's all over for Dylan Young as well. But at least his teammate is still going, because survived half Sam Young, Chris Washer, the newbie in this one, and Rocco Twyman. So ladies and gentlemen, we're still gonna see 4 cars in the next part. 3 cars are out, but 4 cars we're gonna see next time. Ladies and gentlemen, as we go to the next entry, which is gonna be entry number 28 on the racetrack. And we are back again with the 62 as entry number 28 on track. That's Joseph Onesto, the 2nd Dascar president, to be on track. And of course the other, oh, that's it. And that's already 2 cars out. Now there was not a crash, so we will continue this thing. I think, by the way, that Rocco Twyman has a double perfect elimination. But we will continue as there's not a crash. So this is something which we do. If somebody crosses the white dotted line, we also just continue, because, well, there's no need, because there's no crash. So it's not like normally when you have a caution. If there would have been a caution because cars crashed, then we of course stop the race, the segment, but not now. So I think that both Joseph Onesto and Sam Young are out of this thing. But they're still continuing. So now the question is, what are they going to do? Are they going to retaliate on the 43 car? Or are they going to try to get some perfect eliminations? I don't know. We're just going to have to see. We're going to have to take a look at the replays, of course, a little bit later. I'm not even 100% sure if both are out, but I'm pretty sure that both Joseph Ernesto and Sam Young are out. And the question is, who did it? Was it really the 43 car or was it the 07 car? I don't know. We'll have to see in a couple of moments. At least pretty crazy things that will happen this part once again. We see. Oh, and there's a perfect elimination! And there's another perfect elimination! Because Joseph Nessa was already out and Chris Washer is out. Now Chris Washer will fly on the racetrack again and he will go flying in turn number 3. Off track. Wow. And now we, of course, the time is stopped because there is a crash. And I think we have had another perfect elimination. We're gonna have to take a look, replay all this. And I will explain why Joseph Ernesto had a perfect elimination in just a couple of moments. Ladies and gentlemen, crazy things were happening over here at the Talladega No Wall Super Speedway. We're gonna take a look at the replay. What happened all over here in the Christmas Royals? Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a double elimination over here for Rocco Twyman in the 43 car as he took out the 62 car. Take a look at this. And what is an elimination? If you take out somebody else and if that someone also takes out a couple of drivers, that will also count as an elimination. Now Rocco Twyman turned around the 62 car and bumped the 07 off track. So here, of course, this is a better camera angle. Here he will turn around Joseph Nesso and then will give a bump to the 07 of Sam Young, and that means both Joseph Ernesto and Sam Young are out of this thing. Now Sam Young was the longest survivor, so that's a big deal. Joseph Ernesto was just on track. That's already two eliminations for Rocco Twyman. I will write it down quickly. 2 eliminations. But once again, these guys continue to weigh, and we only stop the thing if there is a crash. So they continue their way. Next lap. And this is a big deal. Joseph Ernesto, once again, he's already out, so perfect elimination. It's also if you are already out and then take out somebody else with you, even though you come below the yellow line, that's also still counts because you're already out. So perfect elimination because Chris Washer here goes off track. Turned around by Joseph Ernesto. So Chris Washer will not be very happy with this thing. But well, it is a perfect elimination. Chris Washer. And well, the biggest thing is that the only survivor of this thing is the 43 car of Rocco Twyman. Now, Chris Washer, he could have eliminated the 43 car, and that would be a really crazy deal. That it would be also a perfect elimination for him. But it ain't, he didn't. And instead he goes flying off track over here. Look at this error the 52 car has. He's gonna hit the ground. And there he is gonna come back. Well, go backwards into the wall, I think. That will flip him over. There. Especially that hit on the left front. Tumbling over on his roof. That's Chris Washer also out. So, stories of the 4 drivers. Joseph Ernesto got taken out and then took somebody else out. The 07 of Sam Young got taken out. The 52 car of Chris Washer got taken out by somebody who was already out. And Rocco Twyman took out 2 people. So it's all about taking out and being taken out. Eliminations and being eliminated over here. It's Chris Washer. Let's take another look at this, full speed. Well, he got lucky not to hit that wall, but well, he is off track, so it's pretty obvious that he is out of this thing. And he comes back again, he flies off track, and goes hard into the wall. And that's Chris Washer out. And so, once again, the only survivor is this driver, Rocco Twyman. And he will be facing entry number 29 when we are right back again. Ladies and gentlemen, the next entry will be on track in just a couple of moments. Only 2 cars. Avocate in the number 39 car is your next entry. That is entry number 29. So just 2 cars on the racetrack, and they are half teammates, of course. One driver, that is Avocate, is from Piper Acavito, and Piper Acavito's brother, Grayson Acavito, has Rocco Twyman in. And Rocco Twyman, what a story he has already made over here in the Christmas Royals 2015. He has in the first segment he was in, he barely survived, was very lucky. And in the second segment that he was in, he took out 2 drivers. Two perfect eliminations, and that's why he the only survivor of that part of that segment he was, and now he's gonna battle his teammates. So, big name already in the Christmas special or Christmas Royals. Maybe not that popular of name back in the pits though. And he almost took himself out there, trying everything to take his team out. Well, I'm not sure how the team owners will feel about that. But Rocco Twyman, he was lucky over that. He still stayed on track, otherwise it would have been a stupid elimination, taking himself out, trying to take another driver. But oh well, we don't have, of course, a stupid eliminations part. With Rocco Twyman and Avocate, the question is, are they really going to battle each other that hard and take each other out, possibly, instead of continuing their way and trying to make it to part number 3? Rocco Twyman has survived for 2 segments, so he has to survive for a couple more to beat Zachary Fitzwater, who still holds the record of surviving most segments. 6 segments he has survived. So, the question is, can the 43 car Rocco Twyman do the same thing? Of course, he has been a little bit longer on track than Avocate, is why we mentioned him and not Avocate. But the question is also going to be, Avocate, how happy will she feel about the 43 car trying to turn her around? Will she say, well, okay, this time I just want to make sure that I make it to part number 3, or is she gonna think, you took me out, brother, almost took me out, I'm gonna kick your ass, and I'm gonna kick you out. I don't know what they're gonna do. 2 cars on track, and of course we have seen 2 cars wreck before. Are we gonna see the same thing before we are gonna see entry number 30 on track, which is of course the next entry, and the last entry of part number 3. Then you are gonna have to wait till part number 4 to see who will make it to the big finale. Might be possible there's gonna be 2 cars or 3 cars, maybe 5 cars, maybe 0 cars. We don't know. We'll just have to wait, and that's what it makes it exciting. We don't know how many cars are gonna be in there. It really depends on how aggressive the drivers are. But these cars, it seems like, are gonna make it to the next segment. Will be with entry number 30. So ladies and gentlemen, the time is up and we're gonna welcome the next entry on the racetrack. And there we go with the 80 car of William Brock on racetrack for the last entry of today, entry number 30, and of course he is number 80 car, the Matco Tools Jaguar, the car which Jason Sinclair drove to become the champion of the Dascar Martini Endurance Series Season 1. And now William Brock is driving it. Did not have a very good race at Le Mans, unfortunately for him. Both his teammate neither didn't as well. So 3 cars on track, 2 half teammates and 1 which has nothing to do with him. Though we have 3 rookies on track, 3 drivers which we have never seen in Dascar before. We have seen in the Dascar, at least in one of my series before. We know that William Brock is driving in the Dascar Utica home track, or Utica Rallycross series, at least at the last race of Dead Man's Curve. But I have not heard of him before, so it's great to have him in. I was happy to be racing over here. And let's see for how long he can survive. Hopefully a little bit longer than his teammate. Of course, Henry Williams was also the last entry of part number 2. And he already got taken out in that last segment. So, a little close. 3 wide we go over here. Well, that's interesting. Going across start-finish line 3 wide. Now there's one thing I want to know. I would like to know what the difference was. Oh, let's see, a very little difference between the 3. Of course, it doesn't really matter. It's all about surviving, and maybe at least for some drivers it was about taking others out, especially for Keith Black, Anton Lopez and Rocco Twyman. So, and of course for Joseph Nesso, as he did not survive, and I wrote down Chris Washer, which is of course wrong. He was the one being taken out. So I will make that good in just a couple of moments. The question is, of course, are we going to enter part 4 with 4 cars? Or are we going to enter part 4 again with no cars? So of course we had to do 2 cars. Where we have entries number 31 and 32 at the same time on the racetrack, like we had this part. We don't know, but we do know that this is pretty close over there, and that almost went terribly wrong for 3 drivers, especially Ava Cates in the 39 car. So yes, these guys are pretty aggressive. I'm holding my heart, literally. I'm with my hand on my heart, hoping that these guys will survive, at least hoping for them. Of course, if we gonna see 2 cars in the next part, well, it's good for them. Rocco Twyman has, if he survives this segment, he has survived 5 segments, so that's already pretty amazing. And actually, I'm not sure if it's 5 segments, maybe. Yeah, I think it is 5 segments, so yeah, good thing for him. Oh, that's the time, ladies and gentlemen. So these guys have all survived. I stopped the timer for a moment. It is over. These 3 drivers will make it to part number 4, so congratulations to these 3 drivers, and we'll see them back in part number 4, where we'll also have entry number 31, of course. Only 1 more part to go, only 10 more drives to go, and then we will know who will be in the big finale of the Dascar Christmas Royals 2050. I thank you for watching, and I will see you, of course, in part number 3, as these drivers will race for a little bit longer. Thank you for watching. I'll see you for part number 4 of Dascar Christmas Royals 2015 here at the Talladega No Wall Super Speedway on Ziggo Sports.